Coming up on Loose Women, Just Between Us.
And I just said, okay, I'm just going to take my pretty little head to my dressing room until you come and apologise to me.
I do think just lesbians wear like vision blurring goggles. So when you first meet, so it doesn't matter if you've got a mortgage, sell the house. Like, I think we don't see anything else other than living with that person. You didn't, just to clear the rumours up, you didn't fancy Teresa?
I didn't fancy Teresa, but now it's obviously going to be out there that I did fancy
You guys
that I
could
did
run
fancy
through
Teresa.
fields of wheat together.
Oh my God.
That's all after this.
Loose Women Just Between Us is sponsored by Mecca Bingo.
Right, Denise, I'm going to test you on some bingo calls. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Queen Bee.
73. And before you say anything, I've got a few years to go yet.
Halfway there.
Got to be 45 because there are 90 balls in bingo.
Okay, I've got another one for you. Droopy Drawers.
Got to be 44, which is, of course, my next birthday. And you can, of course, play bingo and many other games at meccabingo.com.
Players must be 18 or over. Terms and conditions apply. See meccabingo.com for details. And remember, always be gamble aware.
Hello and welcome to Loose Women Just Between Us with me, Denise Welch, and
GK Barry.
GK Barry. That's Grace. That's
Which
Grace.
fucking camera am I looking at?
And this is the show where we ask you for your dilemmas and your confessions, and we don't say that we can solve them, but we can certainly give you our two penneth worth. But before we go there, there's a question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
As a leading lesbian of life.
Of course.
I've got a bunch of lesbian friends, okay, who are mostly in the arts. And Linda Riley, who I coined that she was head lesbian of the world. And now, internationally, she is known as Linda Riley, head lesbian of the world. That's how she's introduced. And what they used to joke with me about is they used to say, oh, we've just introduced such and such to such and such. That'll be the U-Haul trucks by tomorrow. Right. And I used to go, having no idea what they meant. Explain why lesbian women call U-Haul the day after they've met at a bar.
I fear that I thought it was a myth. But then when I met Ella, we moved in with each other the day after.
You see, right, okay.
Our first day, and we didn't leave each other's side. I think it is because with women, you're a lot more emotionally in tune. So there's a lot more that you can like connect on. You feel very deeply. So then you're just like, I love you. And then you move in.
Okay, I get the emotional thing. Yeah. I understand that. But presumably, two people who just meet one night have got a flatmate, or they've got another flat, or they've got a house, or they've got things. But it always seems to be within a week. Yeah. Those things are gone, the trucks arrive, and life goes on.
Life goes on. I will say, I do think just lesbians wear, like, vision blurring goggles. So when you first meet, so it doesn't matter if you've got a mortgage, sell the house. Like, I think we don't see anything else other than living with that person.
I wonder why it is that demographic, though, of because, as I say, Linda's my age, you're 25, so it's not an age thing.
I think it's just women. I think women are very impulsive, and I think men always overthink a lot. It's the thing about men. They'll overthink. They're a bit scared of commitment. They're a bit, I'm in an RM, or straight men anyway. So, I think with women, we're just like, oh, why not? So maybe that's why.
Well, it's worked out for you and Ella, hasn't it?
Yeah.
How long
God. Now? Like a year and a half, I think. So we're still going strong. Got 3 dogs together.
You've got 3 now?
Yep.
Hang on, you've got Noodle and...
Sherry Baby.
Sherry Baby.
And we also have Kimchi, or Lil Kim for short. She's a chow chow.
When did Kimchi come into the scene?
Last week.
She U-hauled pretty much after you'd met her, clearly, because I didn't know about her.
So, she's just a little guard dog, because I thought, I'm not being funny with 2 little dogs. If I get robbed, it's going to work. So I needed a big dog to protect me, Ella, and the small dogs.
Right, okay.
And then we'll probably get a bigger dog to protect the big dog.
Of course.
It's just a circle.
The other thing, while I've got you here like this, well, I haven't got you, we've got each other here like this,
together,
is another thing that I wanted to ask you as a gay girl. You're 25, I'm 67 now. And I have been in discussion with some older women who have never shown any sapphic desires in their life, right? Who are now looking that way and entering a potential late life lesbian phase. I did a web series a few years ago called Different for Girls, where I did my first ever on-screen lesbian kiss, got a standing ovation at the screening from the lesbians. And admittedly, in one of the scenes, I do confess that I fancy Theresa May. And one of our producers, when I told her that story, said to me, "Did you really fancy Theresa May?" I said, "No, it wasn't me, Sally. It was a fictitious
But I think
character."
you do, because you're wearing the same trousers as Theresa
do you
May
mean?
did. She wore some lovely brown leather trousers.
she
and I think you're
didn't.
channeling Theresa. Is how
Did she
I-
really have
yeah.
these trousers?
Yeah.
When
So I
she
think
did that dance, do you remember?
Yeah, I think you like her. So you didn't, just to clear the rumours up, you didn't fancy Theresa?
I didn't fancy Theresa, but now it's obviously going to be out there that I did fancy.
You guys
that I
could
did
run
fancy
through
Theresa.
fields of wheat together.
Oh my
holding
God.
hands.
It's interesting though, isn't it? That does it bother you that people suddenly say, it's almost like I'm going to make a decision to be gay now because everybody's fluid. Does that kind of annoy you, or do you embrace that?
I think everyone's just different with how they approach things. And also, I think sometimes it will take you having a really bad breakup with someone to be like, "Do you know what, nah, maybe I will try this." And I think some people, they've known from the minute they were born that they're gay. Some people find out later in life, and I think that's fine.
But it's fascinating because we're kind of allowed to be fluid. There's nothing wrong if you're not either.
I think everything's down to trial and error. Also, you don't know what you like until you try it. And some people, they can even get to their 60s or 70s and they'll just speak to someone and have like feelings towards them and be like, oh. And it doesn't mean that they were gay their whole life and didn't like their past partners. But I think don't ask questions and just put your finger in a lot of pies.
We're going to a break. When we come back, we've got a couple of juicy dilemmas for you. Okay, so that takes us on to the first dilemma. And I think she says, throwing her, they always try to trick us with this. We're not going to give you many cards and we're going to, right, and then we're just like this. Okay. I've got this one's from David, Grace.
All right.
Right? David says, at my workplace, we had a new boss start not that long ago.
Okay.
He's been working abroad for a few years, and since being back, it seems he's missed a few cues on modern workplaces. At times, calling women good girls after a work success. Now, we don't have any HR in the company, and a few people have started talking about this, so I'm trying to work out how to sort this out. Bearing in mind, how do you call out the boss?
What kind of company doesn't have HR? He's working in a shed.
Yes.
I think you can't...
With his imaginary friends.
Yeah. You can't call out a boss, Denise. That's
hard.
the thing. I think I would take the approach that everyone should start talking to him how he speaks to women. So, like, if he's done something really good that day, you should go up to him and say, "Oh, you are such a good boy. That was really good, wasn't it?" Really patronise him. And then if he goes, "Why are you talking to me like that?" I'm like, "I thought that was just how we all communicate."
You've come in with this new way of talking, and we thought that was the
the go-to. What would you do?
I mean, I was trying to give, I suppose, a more corporate thing to it, of saying that when you say, and you're dead right, you know, you can't really call out the boss. With me, it depends how valued you are within that company. So if you're older and thoroughly valued in the company, and the new boss knows that you ain't going anywhere, that gives you a confidence to possibly say. But what I don't understand is, yes, you're dead right. What company wouldn't have a human resources department now? I get that. But at the same time, sometimes I get sick of all the red tape that has to go on. To me, your man here who's written in, David, should call the boss, John, over and just say, "John, listen, I don't want to have to go through any, rigmarole and red tape and bureaucracy. But a few of the girls are just finding it very difficult. They seem to think that you're a little bit patronising, and I just wanted to point it out to you.
Do you think that would work? Or do you think he'd be like, oh, nonsense, everyone's woke now?
Well, I think he would say everyone's probably
Yeah.
woke. And you know something? On the other side, I think that he might be right about certain things. There are always going to be a few Karens in everything.
Yeah.
Like my husband, who is lovely and would never be disrespectful to a woman ever.
God forbid.
He went into a department store very recently and said to this lady, could you tell me where the flasks are? Right? We love a flask. And she said, you go down there, you turn left and they're on the right. And he went, oh, thanks, love. I've looked everywhere. And she went, can I just say something to you? And he went, yeah. She said, don't you ever call me love. And for somebody who doesn't get upset a lot, he was really upset because if he'd said, all right, love, you don't need to be, that's different. So there's context in how things are said. There are also some people who are a little bit precious about how things are said.
Some people are very sensitive to it.
If you say, if you see, it could be, and I'm only playing devil's advocate because I'm in that sort of mood. It could be that he may have been a bit more friendly with one of the ladies and said to her, good girl, gold star and a tick for you. Now, I would pick up, as would you, on the bantery sarcasm of that. But
Someone else might not.
Wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I think David has to be careful. And this is something that not just he's noticing, that this is a general thing. I would personally have a word and say, I'm sure you don't mean it.
And I think if it's making that person feel uncomfortable, they should also say something too, if it's directly towards them. Because that boss could then be like, well, if they had a problem, they would tell me.
They would
so
tell
why
me.
are you getting involved?
That's right.
So then now you're looking like you're getting involved in something.
It's funny because I can take a lot of, I went to drama school in the 70s, My dad was a drag act. My ex-husband was a 70s comic. I'm used to a bit of, hey, woohoo, and all that kind of stuff. I grew up with it.
Yeah.
But there's only twice in my life I've ever walked off a set. Because I'm not a diva-y person, as I hope that you would vouch for me with that. I'm really not a diva. As long as my only rider request is me instant coffee and me coffee mate,
And that is true.
which you provided for me in
bless.
abundance.
Thank you.
On the tour when I was your guest.
Yeah.
I actually went home with a full pot of coffee mate that had been left for me. Absolutely.
Wonder where that went.
And Electra, the drag queen, came in and I kindly let her use it as well. Anyway, so I was on set many, many years ago in a show, 30 years ago, and we had rehearsed for the cameras about 20 times. It was a tricky shot. Sugar glass had to fall, something had to come out of it. I will rehearse till the cows come home. Rehearse. Then they said, okay, turn over. And I just said, oh, hang on a minute, excuse me, could we just have one rehearsal for the actors? And the director said, oh, it's okay, don't you worry your pretty little head about that. We won't make you look bad. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to take my pretty little head to my dressing room until you come and apologise to me. Because that patronising is very different to having a little bit of banter. Do you know what I mean?
It's also someone that is, I don't like when it comes from someone that is technically working above you or you're working for someone, because then it doesn't come from a great place. Whereas if it's one of your friends, then it's like fine. But also it kind of takes guts to walk off. I'd be scared too.
I mean, and then what happened was, it was reported upstairs that Denise had stormed off the set.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I never regretted it.
No.
Because I was absolutely... And I think because when you are well-behaved, you do toe the line. You're not remotely diva-ish. It does have more effect when somebody like that happens.
And did he apologise?
Yes, he did. But in a sort of you took it the wrong way,
right?
Sort of way,
Your
which
fault.
it was my fault, obviously. But the people that I wanted to had seen it on the monitors, so they knew which way that went. Anyway, Dave, look, we may have made light of some of that, but if you are worried about this boss and him being very inappropriate, and you haven't got an HR department, you can always contact Citizens Advice Bureau. That's right, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, we sort of went off in a bit of a tangent from David's dilemma, but after the break, we're going to be back with Kate's.
Welcome back. Now we have got Kate's dilemma. Are we sitting comfortably, Denise?
Yes, we are.
Brilliant news. I've lost my job and my work friends over the menopause. Full stop. I had been working in a very intense job for 25 years, but the hot flushes and the stresses of work and no support meant I had to leave. The women I'd worked with who were friends haven't been in touch in the 3 years since. And 3 years?
Right, okay.
Right. And I feel so disappointed. I felt we were so close. There was an event recently that we were all invited to, and I didn't go mainly because I was so anxious about seeing everyone. None of the group got in touch then either. I'm not sure now if they're annoyed that I didn't go. Should I reach out to them or should I move on?
Right, okay. It's very difficult when you don't know the person because, again, there's a whole contextual thing. It's a contextual thing. First of all, Kate, I don't think they were cross that you didn't go. That's one.
No.
Something very telling when you were telling us about Kate's dilemma, which was that she said, I left with no support. Now, if she's including those people that she worked with as not being supportive, their view of the friendship and her view is very different.
Yeah. Could just be colleagues.
They could just be colleagues. And it depends how she, there's some people who will come into work, our work, any work. And if they've got a problem or they are upset, they will come in and immediately say, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just not myself today. This is happening. I've had a row.
Yeah.
So just bear with me. There are other people who will come in and they will sap the energy from the room by not telling you what's going on, but they will just come in, grunt, and sit.
Yeah.
Now, that's different because I think maybe Kate, how this was manifesting in Kate meant that they weren't as supportive. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, Kate, my queen, I do believe that if they haven't been in touch in 3 years, lost cause, really. But I think if you haven't been in touch with them either, then it's like, well, who's to blame? They probably don't want to reach out to you because you haven't reached out to them. Maybe send them a message. Say, hey, long time no see.
Yeah.
How are things? Like, I was just checking because we haven't spoken recently. Like, how are you? And they might not have realised they've done that.
It might be, just sort of say, listen, guys, I was not in a great place when I was with you all, but I do want you to know how fond I was of you and great memories. Anybody fancy meeting for a coffee? She'll soon know whether her inbox fills up or whether it doesn't.
And I think there is a saying that we can all live by, and that is friends come and go, but the 6 seasons of Downton Abbey on Netflix do last forever. So if you are feeling lonely, that is there to cheer you up.
Or you can download the Hey You app and get every season of The Real Housewives of everywhere in the world, and you'll never want to see those women again.
Salt Lake City would be good.
Oh my God, Salt Lake City.
It's so good. I think, I just think sometimes people in workplaces that you are friends with people because you work with them. When you leave your work, you're not really that fussed about seeing them again. Because to be honest, a lot of times, what are you going to talk about other than work?
Well, that's it. And I don't know, obviously, because you're so much younger, there's obviously going to things that I keep going, oh my God, I'm so old. But I find that as I get older, I love and adore my girlfriends. I love them. I need them. But I don't need to be with them as much as I was, because my desire is to stay in, not see anybody, and watch hours and hours of true crime and housewives. True crime tips it at home because Lincoln's not into housewives, but he's into the true crime. If ever you want anybody finished off, you know where
are the woman. And I would have come to you first, even if you didn't say that.
Because I'd never get caught.
No, of course.
And if you're arrested, say nothing. Go no comment from day one. From the minute you're arrested, even if you don't know why you're being arrested, don't say anything. You just say no comment.
Really?
Because it's not about...
If we've got psychopaths
It's not about you proving that you haven't done it. They've got to prove you did do it. Yeah, always bear that in mind. Digressing again, Kate. But I could say M a bit more, would be good as well. Kate,
Yes.
Grace said it.
Yeah.
Reach out to them, say you were in a bad place, you're feeling much better. Fancy a coffee or a glass of wine at night. If they come back to you, see where that's going to go.
Yeah.
And if they don't,
Still have the glass of wine, but just do it on your own.
yeah,
Because that's also fine,
yeah.
isn't it?
There's nothing wrong with a solo flight, Kate. Anyway,
Amen.
yeah.
Are you someone that if you leave somewhere, like say leaving school,
Yeah.
are you someone that will keep in contact with people or not really?
Right. It's a long time, obviously, since I was at school. But one of the reasons that I don't do Facebook is because, whereas the other ones, I only really do Instagram. But with that, you're wasting your life looking at random people that you don't know. You know, random people's daily life that you're not. Why do you care? But you'll spend 2 hours looking at them. Whereas on Facebook, my Instagram goes on my Facebook. So sometimes things will take me there.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, I realise why I don't go on it. Because it's always somebody from when I was in the sixth form at school. And the fact that they're getting divorced. And it's like, I don't care. I don't remember you.
believe.
I don't care. And I've got a friend, Ali, she'll openly note she would remember what Yvonne's sock colour was in the second year show that we put on or something. I'm not interested.
I don't believe this because I will go out of my way to search people that I went to school with to see how many kids they've got. Are they getting a divorce? My favourite thing is when I see someone from my school being like, told you all about my baby dad. I told you it was no good news. Well, here's some proof. When there is proof, Denise, I will put my feet up.
Do they put the proof on there?
Text messages. They've only been having an affair. I'm sat, right? Reading all of it. And afterwards, I just feel so much joy. Got to message my friends from school. You'll never guess what Vanessa's doing.
So do you do that if the girl who's got divorced and putting all the receipts on there, if it was somebody you did, because obviously your memory of school is going to be much greater than my memory of school because of the time difference, but are these people that you were pals with?
No.
Or people that you didn't like at school?
They could be 2 years above me. Didn't know them really.
But we always had an eye on the people above.
Remember their name. Few people below me. There was one. She was the popular girl. Year below me. She doesn't have any social media now. I don't know what she's doing. That upsets me. So the people that you do, you have to live. I just love gossip. I'm someone that I love. Well, but I think, you know, I just love.
I love gossip, but I'm not bothered about Valerie that I
You should
didn't
be,
really,
Denise.
you know, didn't really know. Well, maybe, to be honest, talking to you maybe I am missing out on something.
You are.
I just don't need any more rabbit holes to go down. But I don't understand why they have to put the whole of it all on there. But you obviously live for that. And you love it.
You're telling me you've never seen someone check into A&E and gone, I have to read the comments. Why is she in A&E?
What do you mean check into A&E?
Caitlin Ward just checked into Addenbrooke's hospital. Unhappy, teary face. You have to read the comments. What's up, Babs? Nothing. Just my sciatica, right?
Which I've got.
Which you've got.
Yeah.
So like, and then it's like, okay, like, I just feel fulfilled knowing what everyone else is doing in their life because I'm nosy and I know I shouldn't care,
Anyway,
but I do.
That's it for this episode of Loose Women, Just Between Us. And we look forward to seeing you next time for words and wisdom from Denise Welch and
GK Barry.
What's our address again?
Oh, don't ask me.
Loose.women
I'm
at
on 4 times a month.
ITV.com. Loose.women at ITV.com.
Thank you everyone for listening.